It's Monday morning, everybody. This is Quinn Bahm with Names and Numbers, and today I want to talk about how most of your leave behinds become trash. So here's the scenario. We know how it's going to end. You walk into a new business, you're prospecting, you go to talk to the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper tells you that whoever you're looking for isn't in. Let's say it's the director of marketing. Her name is Deborah. She's not in today. If you could just leave me some information, I'll make sure Deborah gets it and gives you a call back. Now, there are multiple problems with that. First off, the gatekeeper is not Deborah's boss, and she cannot make Deborah call you back, and she cannot make Deborah read the information that you leave behind. The other problem is there's no context. Even the best handouts still are lacking a lot of information, and they just can't do the job that you can do as a sales rep. So at this point, this is where we're going to implement a principle I like to call the look, here's how this is going to go principle, and here's how it works. You get to that point where the gatekeeper says, Deborah's not in, why don't you leave me some information? And you say something along the lines of, you know what? You're right. I can leave some information. That's not a problem at all if that's the way you want to go. Here's how this normally works. I leave you some information and Deborah gets it, but there's not a whole lot of context there. And so it maybe is a little confusing and ends up in the trash or maybe on her desk someplace. And I'm a sales rep, so I got to do my job. So I'm going to be calling back or I'm going to be coming by. And, it's just a big hassle for all of us. Could you help me out? I'm just trying to figure out if our product maybe could help your company somehow. And I just need a few minutes to sit down with Deborah and get a yes or no, even if it were just for 5 minutes. Is there a good time or a better way to contact her so that we can avoid all of this back and forth mumbo jumbo? What you're doing is you're painting a clear picture of the traditional way that things are done in the sales world between business owner or marketing director and sales rep, and how much work that is compared to how, if you just do it my way now, it's way less effort. A phone call is another great example. You call, you get the gatekeeper says, Deborah's not in, why don't you leave a voice message? And you say basically something very similar. I can leave a message, that's not a problem. Normally, how this would go is I would leave a voice message and I try to be brief, but there's always some information that I miss and it's out of context, so I'm not sure Deborah's going to get the whole thing. And I'm just trying to get a hold of her so we can figure out if maybe we could help your company somehow. Is there a better way to get a hold of her, or is there a time that I could reach her directly and not have to do the whole back and forth with the voicemail? And you're, again, painting a picture where it's a lot more work to do it the traditional way, where the sales rep calls back a million times, talks to the gatekeeper, establishes a wonderful relationship with the gatekeeper, but never ever gets the chance to talk to Deborah. We want to make sure the customer understands that that's a lot more work than just doing it our way now. So the last scenario I'd like to bring up today where this could work is in a close where the customer brings up a partner. You've spent an hour with the customer, you got the contract all put together, everything is looking great, and they say, you know what, this looks good, let me take this back to my partner or my accountant or my spouse, and we'll get back together next week and we can get the rest of this all filled out. Now, you apply the look, this is how it's going to go principle by saying something along the lines of, look, we can do that, that's no problem, not an issue at all, we can totally do it that way. Normally, here's how this works. You take the information back to your partner, and it's pretty common for people not to remember everything that we talk about today. So there's some questions that come up, or maybe your partner has questions that you and I didn't talk about. So we can do that. Again, it usually means that there's some back and forth, and then we'll have to meet again next week. That's fine. But if you wanted to, we could just get your partner on the phone right now, get this taken care of. I could answer any questions that they had, and we could just get this out of our lives and make next week easier. Again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to paint a clear picture. We're doing it the traditional way is way more hassle than just getting it done your way now. All right, so here's my question for you today. Have you seen anything like this before? Has anyone ever used a look, here's how it's going to go tactic on you? If you have, please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. As always, I'm Quinn Bahm with Names and Numbers. Thanks for watching today. Go out and make a great week.